Welcome to Rooted and Relevant, and day 30 of our government shutdown. And some of you have probably been waiting for me to talk a little bit about the government shutdown. Can I say it's just very, very easy? Basically, President Trump is making great strides. He is doing the things that America needs to have addressed, and he's correcting things that have been wrong for a long time and really wrong over the last 4 years. And so he's doing a lot of really good things. But the problem is the extreme liberal left wants to destroy America, has for a long time, wants to undermine and destroy our biblical worldview, to destroy the premise of a Christian nation, attack the very fiber of our Constitution and our republic form of government. There has been a huge advancement in Marxism and socialism, and we're watching some segments of our society even still trending that way. But what is really on the table right now is an attack on socialism that our country is saying enough is enough. We're not going that way. We have a president who is a capitalist at his very core. He's not perfect. He has flaws. We all know that. Everybody does. But as a whole, what he's doing for America is fantastic. And it is really putting the liberal agenda in a very high risk situation. And the only thing they have is to fight against it. And so here's what they're willing to do is sacrifice the American people, sacrifice the American lifestyle in order to try to get their way. And it's nonsense things like trying to give health care to illegal immigrants. That makes zero sense. Why we would take our money and then provide something for people who are not here legally. That's like providing things for people to be able to break the law, providing a means for people to be able to rob a bank or people to be able to steal a car. I mean, that would make no sense. No, law and order says we got to stand against that. Well, that's ultimately what is on the table and what has paralyzed America. And so at some point, the American people see it. And though the liberal left and the liberal media are doing their best to try to pin this on President Trump and the Republicans, I don't think anybody's buying it. I think for the most part, Americans are very smart people, and they're getting smarter as the deception is being exposed and truth is being brought to light. The American people are very wise, and they really do see what's really going on compared to what is being promoted by the liberal left. And so hold on, because you know what? God has a purpose in all things. There's a plan here. God is doing great things. Here in Florida, it is the humidity is gone. The next 5 days, according to the weathermen, are going to be absolutely perfect. And you can hear a little breeze with the chimes going on. And it is absolutely gorgeous in Florida today. All right, we're in Ecclesiastes 9. I've entitled this, Wisdom is Better Than Strength, because it comes right out of the text. Ecclesiastes 9:13-18 says, this wisdom have I seen under the sun. In other words, this is the wisdom I learned here on earth, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city and few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. And so I started by talking about how did we get into this government shutdown? Well, can I tell you? Because there is sinners who are destroying. They have a very self-centered, socialistic mindset that is not American at all. It's not how America was made. It's not what America is designed to function like. We are capitalists at the very core of our being. And so we have sinners trying to undo it. We also have people professing themselves to be strong. Um, people that are trying to use fear as a tool to manipulate or to control, using the fear of violence or the threat of violence to somehow keep people in tow. I loved what our vice president said last night on Turning Point. Is he simply said this, is that we're not going to make decisions based on the threats or the fear mongering of some people. We're just going to do the right thing. We can't try to mitigate or negotiate or try to make peace with people who are just exercising human strength, trying to use force to try to get their way. No, they can't be dealt with, because if you cater to them, they just require you to cater more. And I could not agree more with our vice president, who said, no, you can't negotiate with that kind of nonsense. You just have to do what's right and let the chips fall where they do. And that's wisdom, because wisdom is truth. And wisdom pictured in the Bible is a picture of Jesus Christ, who is truth. He's the embodiment of truth. And so the pursuit after wisdom is the pursuit after truth and the exercise of it. And so when I think of this passage, I think of the secular humanism of our culture. Gyms are coming up everywhere. You know why? Because people are going to try to get stronger and try to get healthier and try to look more fit. And that's all for this life under the sun here on earth. But I think to myself, what if Americans, instead of pursuing after getting stronger and more fit and more healthy, would show the same pursuit after wisdom, would show the same pursuit of embracing truth? What a difference that would make in our culture and in our society. And by the way, Christians, we are called here to be light and salt of truth to a world that so easily is deceived by other things. And so can I encourage you to remember this? Though the wise poor man was never remembered, it was his wisdom that delivered him from the strength, the fear, the control of the enemy. It was wisdom that delivered him. And so we ought not be trying to pursue things that give us an upper hand in this life, but rather pursuing those things that are eternal. Truth never changes, and therefore it's always true. And it's a wonderful thing to pursue after wisdom, to pursue after truth. I just want to end with just giving some quotes that I looked up that are really wise sayings. They're built on truth, and I think that they are helpful to apply. More important than muscles, more important than being able to run a long ways. These are things that everyone can apply, and they supersede the superficial. And so Winston Churchill said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. In other words, enjoy success, but it's not final. Don't be paralyzed by failure. It's not fatal if you learn from it, but it's just moving forward. It's not just basking in the success or being paralyzed by the failure. It's moving forward. It's exercising what God has told us to do in how to handle success and how to handle failure and how to glorify Him in it. I like what Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." In other words, much of how we handle our past, much of how we're going to handle what is before us is determined by who we are. And that's the character. And that's where I want to leave us with another quote. I don't know the author of it. It says, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value or a man of character, a man of integrity." What an amazing thing to be able to be somebody who can be valued because of their character, their integrity. And so don't strive to be considered successful. Try to present yourself in a way of character or integrity, honesty, and to be able to be somebody who takes Abe Lincoln's advice, and honesty is the best policy. And so as we look at this conclusion and we look at all of the deception that's swirling around this government shutdown, which is really extortion at the highest level, just to be able to say, you know what, we just need to exercise a pursuit of wisdom and truth, and never try to compromise with strength or bullies or fear mongers, but rather to just side with what's true and let the chips fall where they may. And God is ultimately in control. The one thing that we do get to decide is what we're going to pursue after. So maybe instead of heading to the gym, dive into God's word and find some nuggets of wisdom and truth to apply today. Nothing wrong with going to the gym. Just if it takes the place of diving into God's word, it's out of bounds. God bless. Hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.